Stag Lake here. It's one of my favorite routes. Yeah, so hello, I'm Jason Asher, and we're on a morning trail run, and we're showing up at our messy best. Life is messy, we're not perfect. Doesn't matter, just show up anyway. And that's what I'm doing. I'm showing up, and I'm testing out this GoPro. It's a new GoPro, and last time I did it, the SD card didn't work, so hopefully this one does, and we could get this posted, because I'm trying out a new thing where I take you on a run with me on my favorite trail runs or wherever, and just you know, share some ideas, some thoughts, some considerations, some motivations on health and fitness, quality of life. How does one navigate oneself to move every day? So silly, but no, I think it's true. I think consistency is key with health and fitness. Doing something every day, doesn't matter what it is, just as long as it's something. And it could even be just 5 minutes, because I have found that the enemy in health and fitness is inconsistency, not doing anything for multiple days in a row. Once in a while, I think it's fine to take a break, but I would consider a break day still doing at least a 5-minute walk, you know. So you can go really hard some days, and then other days just go light, but as long as you're doing something. I always say, what are you willing to do on your worst day? So being smart now for when you're dumb later, setting yourself up for success. So for instance, for me, you know, on my worst day, I'll at least run a mile. Or maybe for you, no comparison, it's just everybody's journey's different. It could be you know, walk around the block or walk to the local park and back. And on your, yeah, because if like you have this crazy big fitness goal set up and you're just not feeling it one day, because we all have bad days, you're not alone. I have bad days too. It's part of a human existence. So, but we can mitigate that and navigate through it and build character just by keep showing up messy. We don't have to be at our best to show up, but the point is just to show up. That's what matters. And so showing up with fitness, yeah, if you have some crazy goal and you're not feeling it, you're more likely to give up. So the idea is, okay, I'm having a bad day, but what is my consistent goal? What is my daily goal my bare minimum? So then you're moving consistently, because that's the key. And sometimes I find, you know, I'm like, okay, well, I'll do that walk, or I'll do that mile. And then I notice my mood changes and I'm feeling better. And then I might go another mile. And so it's all about just starting and setting up your psychology to get you motivated to start with a small bite-sized piece. Because we don't need motivation when we're feeling great, right? When you're feeling good, man, you're just going all out. It's on those sucky days where you're just feeling low, depressed, discouraged, you're feeling regret, you're feeling envy, you're feeling all the yucky stuff, and you're just in a funk, and you need to get out of the funk, and it's just about just starting. So I like to you know, think about your psychology and your like mental attitude, and then compare that with your joy factor, things you love to do, and then compare that with your actual current physical status. So And then combining those three creates a Venn diagram, right? And the goal is to move every day. So putting those three together can help you to move every day without excuses. So for instance, oh, I have, you know, an injury. I can't run. All right, cool. Well, there's other ways to move. You could go swimming, you know, or whatever. There's always an option to do some kind of movement. You could do yoga, whatever it is. And so looking at your body currently, you know, how do you need to best navigate your body so you keep it from getting injured or further an injury? So being honest about that, right? And then comparing that with the joy factor, like, do you like love trail running? Well, if not, don't do it. Do something else. Yeah, you know, maybe cycling's your jam, you know, or mountain biking, whatever. Roller skating, rollerblading, you know, all kinds of things. And then also comparing that with your psyche. So again, that gets back to, how do we motivate ourselves when we're at our worst? How do you set yourself up for success when you're not at your best? I've heard this one where an analogy for this, or an example, is, you know, you're all super stoked to run in the morning. You got your whole day planned out. You're gonna wake up early, you're gonna hit the trails or the sidewalk and go for a morning run. And then 6 a.m. comes, or whatever, snooze bar, snooze bar, snooze bar. And you totally don't get up and run. Because the night before you're feeling good, but that morning, nope. So to set yourself up for success, I heard, you know, put the alarm at the other end of the room, or your phone at the other end of the room, and underneath it is your running gear. So when the alarm goes off, you're like forced to get up to turn the phone off. And once you like stand up and the blood starts going and you're walking over to your phone, you see your running gear and you're more motivated to put on the running shoes and whatever and go for that run. So that's what I'm talking about with the psyche. How do you control your psyche so your psyche doesn't control you, right? How do we control the mind so the mind doesn't control us? Because our mind is a supercomputer that can work for us and can work against us. So like a huge elephant, right? It's a massive machine, a massive animal that left unconscious to, it's gonna do its own thing and kind of take over your thinking patterns, your life. So it's good for us to be aware of our thoughts. I use the analogy of, if you've ever been to the sushi bar and the sushi's going around, and we think about 300 to 1,000 words per minute. So picture like 300 to 1,000 different little sushi plates going around. And what's cool is if you're aware of those, you can watch the sushi plates go by and you can decide, hey, this one's toxic. This is a thought that's not true about me or others. It's not beneficial. I'm gonna let that one go by. You don't have to resist it or suppress it. You can just let it go by. And then there could be one that comes along and say, whoa, that's truth. I believe that to be beneficial for me and others. And you eat it. And once you eat it, once you believe it, believing something and believing a thought is equal to digesting food. It becomes part of you, right? So like with food, you don't have to eat it. It's there in front of you. You could taste it, maybe spit it out. But once you swallow it, then it becomes a part of you. It's just like a thought, right? So you can have these thoughts going on. You don't have to eat them. You don't have to believe them. You can let them go on by. But then if there's one that you believe, then it becomes a part of you. You are what you eat. You are what you believe. So if you're currently believing toxic thoughts, well, you're gonna have toxicity in you, and then you need to detox you know, through whatever, and that's fine. Self-compassion, we're not perfect, we're messy. I believe lies about myself and others. It's hard, you know, but we can aim towards best, aim towards those beneficial thoughts that are true about others and ourselves, that build each other up, that empower each other, that edify each other, that show value and appreciation and worth and encouragement. Because, you know, life's hard enough as it is, so why not encourage each other and encourage ourselves, you know, not in a narcissistic way, right? Because we're all interdependent, we're all in this together. So let's do it together and believe we're part of a greater whole. And, you know, that's all. I mean, the psyche is a big portion of all this. And so that's why I'm kind of diving into it. Because if you can navigate your psyche, if you have self-control of your mind, you're winning. And it's not easy, that's the work, right? And with that though, again, self-compassion, I hear that time and time again from friends and family, to just be patient and kind with ourselves, because this world's not easy. And I feel like it's kindergarten. Let's give ourselves grace. We got a long ways to go. We're just making finger paintings down here. But let's lean. We can lean into love. We can lean into beneficial connection. We can lean into kindness. We can lean into, I believe we're all family. The whole planet. I don't care who you are. You're my brother. You're my sister. That's just something I've come to over several existential rabbit trails. Less is more, you know, all those things. But the point is, because this is the Move Everyday platform, so let's get back on topic. What is really cool about movement is your brain, your supercomputer, is running off of mainly oxygen. It loves oxygen, and oxygen is carried through our blood. So when you move, you're blasting your brain full of oxygen, right? When you get on the treadmill, when you get on the cycle, when you go for a run, when you're dancing, whatever it is, your brain gets blasted with oxygen. And that's really important, because what happens is sometimes we get zombied out and we're just not really awake, alive, enthusiastic with our entire brain and bodies. We're just kind of sedentary, watching something or playing a video game probably for too long. Nothing against those things, no judgment. Leisure time is good. But when it becomes days on end, that can lead to some unhealthy situations. So, or we can be stuck in fight, flight, or freeze. Our lower brain, our limbic system, our survival brain, which is important. It helps us, it keeps us alive in this physical dimension. And it's good to have that. So not something to resist or feel bad about. It's just an awareness, like, hey, I got this part of my brain that really will kick in to protect me. Cool. But there are times when it's not necessary. We don't need our limbic system, because we're perceiving risk when there's not real risk. So when we're perceiving risk as real risk, our limbic system kicks in. Maybe it's an interview at a job, or you're on a first date, or whatever, and your brain's like, we're gonna die if this doesn't go right. And then you're in fight, flight, or freeze mode, and nobody likes that, you know. So it's like self-sabotage. You probably won't get the job. You probably won't continue the relationship. But whatever, it's a learning experience, right? You don't have to beat yourself up about it. You just learn from it. You go, okay, well, that's not serving me. So you can practice figuring out the difference between, you know, perceived risk versus real risk. And very few times do we actually need our limbic system to kick in. When I was traveling Latin America for the first time, bought a one-way ticket with my wife at the time after college, And we were going to some places we've never been, and you want awareness with travel and safety. And I was kind of nervous the first month just about, you know, what part of town we were in, or if we were gonna get mugged, or, you know, we were in Colombia and stuff, and you hear rumors of kidnappings. And so I just had that going majority of the day. And I was on a bus, and I was thinking to myself, it was like a bus ride, 3-hour bus ride, and just staring out the window, and I was thinking, well, I'm not getting mugged now, I'm not getting kidnapped right now. What is the point of being in anxiety about these things when they're not even happening? So I just told myself, you know what, I'm not going to be in anxiety about these things until they actually happen, if they happen at all. Why waste my time in worry and anxiety about things that actually are not happening at that moment? And so I just let it all go, and this like peace came over me, and I really found my groove and really enjoyed the trip. And nothing bad happened. I mean, there was a few close calls, but nothing crazy. You were there for 6 months, so something was bound to happen. We got some stuff stolen, but we left it somewhere. They didn't take it from us, you know, with a knife or anything. And some other stuff, but that's too long of a story for now. But the point is, when you run, you can blast out your oxygen through your blood out of your limbic system into your higher brain, your higher left and right hemispheres, your frontal cortex, and you're getting your whole brain involved to work for you, not against you. And you can have creative problem solving. A lot of times I'll have an issue, a choice I need to make at work or relationship or whatever, and I can't figure it out. So I'll just be like, okay, take a break, go for a run. And without me even thinking about the problem, the solution comes to the problem because I've blasted my brain full of oxygen. And your brain loves to solve problems, constantly wants to. So if you just let it do its thing, you set it up to work for you, it will come to some amazing conclusions. A lot of times, by trying to solve the problem, we get in the way of our supercomputer. But if we just go, hey, supercomputer, here's the problem. All right, I'm gonna let you do your thing. And then you give it its food, its oxygen. And it's amazing if you let it go, what it'll crank out. And so then it's kind of fun. Instead of like this daunting, oh, I gotta figure this out. It's like, okay, well, here's the situation, brain. All right, cool. While you're figuring that out, I'm gonna go for a nice trail run, listen to some music, or a nice bike ride, or whatever. Or have a really good, healthy smoothie, you know, just anything that builds you up, right? So, big fan of that. And again, I started Move every day because a lot of reasons, but since I was 14, I've always been really interested in health and fitness. And what I've found is it's really not that hard. We make it out to be way harder than it needs to be. It's really all just about consistency, and it doesn't have to be this crazy big thing. You don't have to do all the crazy things. If you want to, awesome. But just the basic is huge. Just basics. You start with the basic, and maybe you want to stay there as long as you are keeping maintenance of your meat spaceship, just like with your car. It's just maintenance. You get the oil change, right? You check the tire pressure, all the things. Just like with your body, it's a vehicle, and you want to just maintain it. It doesn't have to be this epic, good-looking, quote-unquote thing. This is just a quality of life thing, you know? It's just a portion of your life, not your entire life, that just needs to be a daily thing, like brushing your teeth, just to keep you physically, mentally, emotionally more balanced. And we do this thing where it's like, oh, I can't do those, I can't do that, it's not me. No, just even a walk. Like if you walk 30 minutes a day, you're gonna notice a significant difference in 30 days. Significant. If you challenge yourself or give yourself the opportunity, the gift to walk 30 minutes a day. And that's all I'm talking about. It's really that simple. And then of course diet, right? And that's a big controversy. But I will say, I think we can all agree, the more natural the food is, the better. The more closer to its original source, the less processed it is. I think we can all agree it's more healthy. And less is more too. Our bodies can do a lot with a calorie. You know, so I do intermittent fasting. You know, that's why I like smoothies a lot too. It's less for my body to process. I mean, there's controversy with that too. I mean, there is something about eating a piece of fruit whole or vegetable whole. But then again, it's like, oh, I don't, that just makes me depressed about, you know, being healthy and fit. So find something that works for you. So if it's a smoothie, if it's a Odwalla thing or whatever, some people are like, oh, that's, the purists would say no. But my thing is, you got to have that Venn diagram, right? If it's not fun, if you're not loving it, you're not going to keep doing it. So just start and make it fun for you. That's the cool thing. You get to create how it best works for you. Make it an enjoyable experience, because then you're way more likely to do it consistently. And you get to create it for you. That's what I love about it. Make it your mambo jambo. Be your own life coach. Be your own physical trainer. You know what you hate and what you love. And maybe you do. Maybe the thing is you love having a physical trainer, or you love going to the gym, or you love whatever. And if that works for you, awesome. For me, not so much. I'm an island when it comes to health and fitness. I like doing my own thing, independent of any kind of gym or weights. I like to do body weight, you know, just with my own body weight, push-ups, pull-ups, squats, lunges, and then running, trail running. And I find that works for me and might not work for you. So find something else. Do you, boo, right? Like, make it your thing, make it your jam. And again, it doesn't have to be a lot. A little goes a long way as long as it's consistent, right? Like that movie, Shawshank Redemption, where he's chiseling out the tunnel to escape, and he chisels out a little bit every day, and he puts from his prison cell, and he puts the crumbles, I don't know what they're called, crumbles, in his pocket. And then during like outside time, he just empties it out into the field so nobody notices. And then he has a poster over the tunnel he's digging. And eventually, after years, he has this massive tunnel that he can escape through. So you escape out of your, you know, mental trap or your physical trap by just doing a little every day. And after a while, you'll notice some amazing accomplishments, or just, I call it just some daily maintenance. Your daily maintenance has improved significantly, right? So for instance, like 5 years ago, I got this Nike running app from a friend. He's like, hey, check this out. I'm like, cool, I can run a few miles here and there. And then my friend at the Grand Lodge McMinimans, she oversaw me looking at this app. She's like, I have that app. Dude, let's do a challenge. Whoever hits 100 miles first wins, because you can set up challenges on the app. And I was like, geez, I can't run 100 miles. Are you kidding me? No way. And then I did it at the end of the month, and I was super impressed. Like, wow, that wasn't really that hard for me. And then a few months went by. I'm like, well, I'm gonna try 200. Okay, I did that. And then a few more months went by, and I'm like, what if I did 300? That was a really hard month. But the point is, I was able to do it. The potential, the unknown potential was there. There's no way, you know, 5 years ago, if you said I would run 300 miles a month, I would say that that's impossible. So what we think is impossible can become possible just by doing a little bit every day. And then what else is cool is that my cousins had the same app, so they can see me running, they can see my miles. We started communicating. We all live close together, but we never see each other. And through that app, we've actually connected, and we hang out now, and we designed our own family relay race around Hag Lake because of COVID. So we did our own thing. We did safely. We made t-shirts, you know, it was a blast. And now we're doing a turkey trot. We're calling it Turkey Trot because our last name is Ferguson. But that just all goes to show, like, if you just start, it's gonna take you to some pretty amazing places. But it needs to be a daily thing. Life's a day's work, do it well. Just a little bit every day, and you'd be really surprised where you go. Oh, here comes some bikers.
4 behind me.
Heyo.
Good morning.
Morning. Oh, it's a whole pack. Pack of wolves.
Ah, there's 2 after me.
All right. Thank you, thank you. Have fun.
Good morning.
Morning, have a good one. Great way to start the day. See, there you go. Everybody finding their jam. So yeah, okay. Much love. That's the end of our run. And yeah, you're amazing. And I believe in you. Okay, much love. Bye.